What is good, YouTube? Welcome back. So I went to go see TMNT Mutant Mayhem. Honestly, kind of underwhelmed. I'm not gonna lie. 97 on Rotten Tomatoes feels like it was kind of forced. I'm not gonna front. It was a decent movie. It's nothing spectacular in my opinion, but it is a decent movie. Now, here's where I go into review and stuff. So, I saw the movie, and the movie basically starts. Spoilers, by the way. So the movie basically starts where Baxter Stockman has created the mutagen. He's already perfected it. He's done all that, and he already had animals prepared to create a mutant army. And the first animal that he used the mutagen on was a fly, and you could see the fly literally as a baby. And Baxter Stockman is like sort of the father of this baby, mutant fly. And yeah. When that happens, then the a Utrom lady, we find out later in the movie that she's a Utrom. Well, she's not specifically a Utrom, but her name is Utrom. She sends a whole task force to go find Baxter Stockman, and Baxter Stockman gets killed. I think Baxter Stockman, they like raid his basement, and I think Baxter Stockman gets killed. And the fly has to steal the task force is trying to take everything Baxter Stockman related. So when they're taking it, the fly is able to take out, like the baby mutant fly is able to take out this whole task force and escape with his mutant brothers. And then we find out that this mutant fly has been raising the mutants. But then we see one of the task force members kick a mutagen can, or like glass bottle, you could say, down the sewers. And this is where Master Splinter finds the turtles, and the turtles cover him with the mutagen. And boom, Master Splinter is turned Master Splinter, or Master Splinter is a rat. He was never a human, so he just turns into a humanoid, a rat. And yeah, and he raised the turtles. There's little segments of them growing up with each other. But then one time, I'm not even doing this in chronological order. Yeah, and the turtles grow up, and basically, they would go, and then we cut to present day, and then basically the turtles would be like shoplifting. They're basically criminals. The turtles are literally criminals, where they're stealing, they're legitimately stealing groceries to bring back down to the sewers. They then return to the lair, but they want to be accepted in the movie so bad, but they know they can't because they're freaks, basically. And then Master Splinter returns, and then Master Splinter gives the origin story of why he hates humans and why he wants the turtles to stay away from humans, and that is the simple fact that humans hate rats. We all know that in New York there are plenty of rats, and they're kind of creepy, I'm not gonna lie. And they kind of freak me out too. They're fast and tiny and shit, and then the big ones, I can't. I've gotten used to it, but shit, still goes crazy. But yeah, Master Splinter is a rat. He was already a rat, so it wasn't no Hamato Yoshi apparently. Then he went to the sewers. He found the turtles covered in ooze, and the turtles, I think Leo probably as a baby, went to like touch him with his head. And when he had touched Master Splinter, the mutagen got Master Splinter, and it turned Master Splinter a humanoid rat. And then he would have to take care of all 4 baby turtles. There's little cute segments and stuff. But then Master Splinter decides to take the turtles up into the surface world. And this is a bad call, because when they go up to the surface, the turtles are in awe and stuff, but it goes terribly wrong where Master Splinter accidentally bumps into a human, and the human sees him as a freak because it's a humanoid rat. Who wouldn't? And then Master Splinter is like, damn it, why the frick did I do this? And he's running with the turtles in his hands. Mikey almost gets killed. Baby Mikey almost gets ran over by a truck. Master Splinter has to literally roll to get him, and he dips back to the sewers. And from that day, Master Splinter was like, no, we're never going back up to the surface unless they are prepared to fight or be able to do stuff. Be able to fight to protect themselves or stuff like that. So that's when Master Splinter decides to look at old video HS tapes, literally YouTube tutorials, old kung fu movies, and since he's voiced by Jackie Chan, Jackie Chan movies appear in it, where like Jackie Chan is fighting, and basically Master Splinter is learning kung fu while training the turtles. Kind of like the Michael Bay films, where Master Splinter finds an old martial arts book and he uses that to teach the turtles. It's something like that, but with modern technology. And references to Jackie Chan, because Master Splinter is voiced by Jackie Chan. Come on now. But yeah, so the turtles are now teenagers. They're fully grown. They go back up to the surface. But they spend a little bit too long, and they end up getting grounded. Um, then the turtles witness a girl, which is April, get her bike stolen, and this is where the turtles have their first human interaction, and they actually fight what seems to be purple dragons or a gang. I like to think they're the purple dragons. I don't know, but they went to go fight these guys, and they start getting their butt kicked. But once they start actually fighting, it's like, okay, maybe these turtles can fight off of VHS tapes and stuff. So yeah, it goes like that. The turtles actually win the fight, and they become friends with April O'Neil. April O'Neil does a whole story on them. Basically, she's writing down who they are, what they are, and stuff like that. The turtles then have to dip home, but then April gives them contact info. It's basically a modernized teenage mutant ninja turtles, pretty much. I mean, the turtles have phones, all this shit. Some of the lines are corny, but yeah. And the turtles are basically talking about this. Oh, also, I forgot to mention. So the big villain of this movie is Superfly. It's not Shredder, but I'll go back to Shredder in a minute. But yeah, so the big villain in this movie is Superfly, and he's basically a super crime lord, stuff like that. So the turtles think that if they save the city, they can like go to school. They can have April can have a big story and become famous, and yeah, they can take down Superfly. So that's their objective. So they go on various tasks. Like they go find the turtles go like literally full Batman mode pretty much, and go hunt down all of Superfly's like lackeys or bosses, and then they find out the location of Superfly and go to meet Superfly as one of those bosses. But when the turtles find out that Superfly is a mutant just like them, they feel kind of accepted and realize maybe this guy isn't so bad. But then when when Superfly reveals his ultimate plan, which is to eradicate the human race, they're like, okay, this ain't good, this not good. So the turtles try to hijack the machine that Superfly had, or a part of the machine, but it doesn't work, and they actually end up getting captured by the Ultron Ladies Task Force, who basically is milking them, literally draining the mutagen out of their blood to make a machine. And the mutagen tank that she used, like the bottle, is like this big, and the turtles are so tiny, so they're literally gonna be drained of all their mutagen, which would probably kill them because they have no blood. But yeah, so April then runs back to the sewer, finds Master Splinter, and Master Splinter saves the day. But then he realizes that, yo, y'all can't keep doing this. You are grounded in the sewers forever. And then he says this specific line: the only way you'll be happy is if you listen to me. Now, this is something that really happens later on in the film. But yeah, Superfly is able to enact this plan. The machine starts, but then the turtles realize, no, we can't do it like this because we have to finish what we started. So they head back to Superfly's lair, fight Superfly, but they're actually able to convince Superfly's squad to fight with them because they figured, you know what, all humans ain't that bad, and besides, you mutants can live with us. So Mondo Gecko, Ray Fillet, Rocksteady, Bebop, who else? Wingnut. I think there's one mucus something. Leatherhead, they can all pull up in their crib, and that's when those mutants realize that, okay, maybe we can be accepted and create like our own mutant society. It ain't gonna be that bad. Superfly's like, what the hell? What, y'all just gonna betray me? Like, come on, man. And that's when Superfly's like, you know what? Forget y'all. I'm to activate the machine. And they all basically try and jump Superfly. And Superfly is low-key kicking their ass. I'm not gonna lie. Superfly is literally just beating their butts. And it's not even funny how bad it is. Like, they're literally getting beat. But then like when all of them have Superfly backed onto a corner, they're all like, what are y'all doing? The only way y'all can be happy is if you listen to me, because Superfly had to step up and raise all these mutants together as a family. So this is what caused him to say that. And then Master Splinter's like, oh my god, I messed up. And then he pushes Superfly, and he's like, and they send Superfly into a mutagen pool. Like, that's literally a pool full of mutagen. And this is bad because the mutagen is located underwater, like it's in a tank. And guess what's underwater? A bunch of freaking sea animals. So you already know, Superfly basically combines with like a whale, like a ginormous whale. He heads into a zoo, flops into the zoo, and then boom, a bunch of animals literally are on him. Like, literally they are on him. It's a giant, disgusting thing. And the turtle's like, damn, we made this shit worse. Yeah. And then Master Splinter's like, no, listen to me. we can fight this thing. I know that I messed up as a father, but I'm hoping, like, he you know Master Splinter, how Master Splinter gets. He realizes, you know what, I was wrong. You guys should experience the human world, because who cares what people think or something like that. And yeah, so they all dip to New York, and it's actually a pretty cool segment. But Superfly is actually kicking their ass. Literally, as a giant mutant, he's literally kicking their ass. He even has the turtles. So the thing is that the only way to defeat him was with the blaster. See, this task force used the blaster to freeze them, to freeze mutants, and it would demutanize people, demutanize a mutant. So Raph takes a shot at Superfly with the gun, but the gun doesn't work because since Superfly has so many animals on him, if he hits one animal, it's not going to take out Superfly. So they realize that the only way they can get Superfly defeated is they drop one of the canisters down a bullet, like the blowhole, because he's combined with a whale. So they do that, but it's not going to plan as their asses are getting kicked, and Master Splinter's leg actually gets broken in the process, and humans are coming in to, like, Master Splinter thinks they're going to attack him, but they're actually here to help him, because the news is showing the Turtles as the villain, but then April O'Neil barges into Channel 6 and literally says, no, the Turtles are heroes, this making the whole public eye change, and boom, the Master Splinter has helped to deliver the canister. And the Turtles' shells are getting crushed. Like, Superfly has them, and he's literally crushing them. But the Turtles are able to drop the canister down. So all the animals are set free off of Superfly, and Superfly is defeated. I think he's reverted back into an actual Lily Belly Fi. He's then captured by the Utroms. And in the end, all the mutants live in the sewers. The Turtles end up going to school. Kind of weird, I'm not gonna lie, and they're super popular somehow. Apparently the human world just accepts them for who they are. They end up going to school. Leo asks April to the prom. Leo, by the way, you have no standards if you want April. That's Donnie's gonna stop. They end up going to prom, but then we cut to the Utrom lady. This is after credit scene. So it cuts after the credits. It cuts to the Utrom lady, and the Utrom lady is like, capturing them will be easier. Well, finding where they are is going to be easier, but capturing them is going to be harder. So that's when she's like, you know what? Then bring on my boy, the Shredder. I knew Shredder was going to be in the sequel, because if you don't have him in the first movie, you got to have him in the second movie. And besides, this movie, it's like Across the Spider-Verse for Ninja Turtles. It is supposed to make a sequel. It isn't supposed to appeal to a single movie. And that shit's probably going to bomb in the box office just because it's 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. So that is basically the movie. The movie is basically the Turtles trying to grow up. I feel like this is something that they're going to do with multiple movies. As it's going to be the Turtles as teens, then the Turtles as, like, middle-aged adults, then they're going to be full-on adults, and then they're going to be, like, old men. So that's how I feel like it's going to go. I think the movie is pretty decent. It was very underwhelming. It was actually a moderate decent. I'll give it, like, a good moderate. It's not over amazing, but it's a moderate decent. The animation style was actually pretty good. The one thing I have is these lines. Like, they try to have the Turtles say, like, bacon, egg, and cheese and stuff, and it's just terrible. But the movie is very good. I'd have to say that. It's not one of those movies where it's like, oh my god, this is a great movie. It is a good movie, but it's not like one of those movies where you're just going to drop a head over heels. So if this is definitely a family movie, so you could definitely bring your kids to watch it. There's like no cursing at all. It's Ninja Turtles for kids, pretty much, literally. The poster literally shows them as kids, and the voice actors are literally teenagers. But yeah, my favorite scene in that movie would probably when Shredder appears on the screen, if I'm being honest. Shredder looks actually badass, I'm not gonna lie. Like, the suit that he has on, just that little cut, amazing. Also, I have a theory. I think Shredder might be an Utrom, and I'll probably explain it in a different video on a different channel. But yeah, movie, a solid 7, 8 out of 10. Solid 7, 8 out of 10. That's good. That's honestly a great rating. The lines, some of the lines are just corny, but the fight scenes, but if you look past the lines, the fight scenes, the story was actually pretty decent. I don't like how the humans are just so, like, trusting of mutants. I hope they do something in the sequel where there's, like, still, like, a part of humans that hate mutants. I hope they do that in the sequel. Hope you all enjoyed. A solid 7 out of 8 movie, honestly. It wasn't nothing major. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.